Life around the stronghold is so dull. Chief gets all the wives, we don't have any working toilets, and these fucking clankers are everywhere! Look at them, just skulking around their precious little caves while their masters just up and left them. But they're starting to encroach on Skyrim. Their wars with the Falmer push them to the surface. The Nords are building entire cities upon cities up in Markarth, and they're even replacing the mud crabs! Something needs to be done before they start getting comfortable and destroy our way of life. It has to be me. I'm so fucking tired of these motherfucking clankers on this motherfucking province. I'm gonna destroy every last one of them. Damn it, my monologuing led me all the way out here. Is that pill pass?
Hey, you're finally awake.
Oh, damn it. Caught on a wagon full of rebels. Well, time to go over the rules of the run. Number 1, I must destroy every Dwemer automaton I can find in Skyrim. This includes in their ruins, of course, but also in other remote locations that I've identified. I will mainly be focusing on the special edition locations, but I will include a couple anniversary edition ones as well. I'll consider all the clankers cleared out once the ruin is cleared. Number 2, I'll be playing Skyrim normally, so minimal glitching and exploiting. Number 3, no shouts are allowed in normal gameplay, but I will need to progress some of the main quests to access all the Dwemer ruins, so shouts will be allowed in those quest-related instances. And number 4, I must play on legendary difficulty to accurately depict just how dangerous these tin skins can be. But first, this message is sponsored by Raycon. Raycon provides affordable wireless earbuds, and today they want to show you their new line of bone conduction headphones. I promise I know what that word means. I'm a professional. What that means is they sit on the outside part of your ear while still leaving your ears open to other sounds. As part of this sponsor, Raycon suggested I take a break from being a sweaty gamer and go touch grass for the first time in 3 months, and while I was walking out in the park, I was able to have a whole uninterrupted conversation with my wife and actually hear the birds chirping, which was actually kind of nice. You guys should try it sometime. The audio quality of the headphones was great, and with 13 hours of battery life and waterproof and dustproof material, it wasn't stopping anytime soon. And if you don't like them, Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee, which is a pretty long time for premium headphones, to be honest. The bone conduction headphones are perfect for refreshing your routine this spring, so go to buyraycon.com/oskgamingbc to get 20% off. Thanks Raycon for sponsoring this video, and boys, every order helps ya boy, so click the link.
Who are you?
Just your typical hater of slopware. Really brings out my inner savage, you know? Right. Orc name, Yurnub Growin. It's technically lore accurate, I guess, and I have the humor of a 12-year-old. And then a dragon attacked. This won't be brought up ever again. So cliff notes through Helgen, I side with the Imperials so I can rush through the starting room and head straight to the Torturer's room so I can get some help taking out the Warhammer soldier from behind. Those wirebacks deserve no less. Also turns out a Warhammer is a decent early weapon on Legendary. I can legit just space out these soldiers and wail on them with power attacks when they're open. And nothing beats a satisfying kill cam. I grab the rest of the early loot as I'm able, put 2 perk points into Barbarian for 40% more damage for a smooth early game, and as usual, the level ups will all go to health. Now let's get ready to scrap these rust buckets. So let's go over some of the early prep goals. I'm going to use the orc racial bonuses as a general guideline for my playstyle, so mostly a two-handed smithing and enchanting powerhouse. I'm not going to be limited to only orc skills like I would be on a pure playthrough, but my primary focus is again that warrior playstyle. So naturally, I'm going to take the Warrior Stone for that 20% faster experience gain for warrior skills. And since I'm not limited as I pass through this hunter's camp, thieving is very much on the table. Behind the Warrior Stone, I stop by the Shrine of Talos, but I'm not praying to a god of man. Malakath would not approve. I will take his gold though. And I'll take the enchanted gear off the Thalmor agent, thank you very much. And now for a test of strength. Can't destroy these clankers if I can't get past a couple lowly bandits. Alright, come on then. I'm not gonna lie, that damage through a blocking bandit with heavy armor is working pretty well. And for the most part, the fact that I'm swinging means that they won't approach too close, which means I can keep them at range the entire encounter. Not bad. Just gonna heal up real quick. Forgive me for being indecent, my fine lass. Now we got that full heavy armor, but I can still move like they do. Serpentine, baby. Bro, what have I been missing? Are Warhammers just a cheat code for early game? I've been missing out this whole time. Let's go pay Anise a visit.
I'm just a poor old woman, dear. No need to trouble yourself with me.
Okay, but really, how terrifying would it be just to see a full-armed orc swim up to your house and just put you out like that? I mean, come on, that's terrifying. I know I could have disenchanted all that gear back at her cabin, but I can get more experience out of it if I wait until later. Call it delayed gratification, something the kids could use a little bit more of nowadays. You learned it here first, boys. We're solving generational problems here at OSK Gaming. With the treasure chest calmly collected, it's time to roll into Riverwood so I can cockblock Sven once again.
Feindal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me.
Can't let that milk drinker inject his milk finger into any ordained receptacles anytime soon.
Oh my.
You'll thank me later, Camilla. I stop by Alvar's place to swipe all his handouts like a true foreign invader before he tries to hit me with that silver responsibility.
The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose.
Okay, but what if he doesn't, though? Skyrim really likes to live up to that whole saying, doesn't it? What he don't know won't hurt him. In fact, if he never learns about the dragons returning, they never start burning down the damn place. You may have noticed that I ransacked all the vegetables from the local farm, by the way. And of course, the point of all that is to head to the Bannered Mare and get down for some good old home cooking. Gotta watch my cholesterol, so we're doing vegan this playthrough. Jesus, this video is so uncoded, I swear. I mean, it's got everything. I'm watching the heart health, hate this new technology that never f***ing works, and I gotta do everything myself.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Now, you may be wondering why a bot-hating orc would want to go to a city built by these cog suckers. Well, I'm not. I've got better plans. For you see, south of the stables of Markarth, I can continue up this road and hang a right at the forked tree and follow the path down south so I can slay this wolf and enter the orcish stronghold of Dushnik Yal.
Welcome, child of Malakath. Your kin bid you welcome to our stronghold.
That's the other perk to being an orc. Thanks to my pig-faced heritage, I'm considered bloodkin at every orc stronghold in Skyrim, which gives me some initial favor with the orcs here. Even the chief here.
I earned the right by slaying my father in single combat. One day, I will have a son who will challenge me when I become too old to lead, and the stronghold will have a new chief.
Right. Not exactly wholesome family activity. Oh, and the chiefs also marry all the wives and have all the children.
I am Borgulf's favorite wife. He knows my beauty should be praised.
Well, there was an attempt at beauty here. Not terribly convincing, though. The second wife is also known as the Forge wife, and she takes care of the Forge. Anyway, Geralt here is also the best heavy armor tutor in the game outside of a faction. I'll definitely be getting some use out of her later. Not like that, you degenerates. Besides, our tusks would probably lock up or something. Now then, it is here, just northeast of Dushnik Yal, where I have my first taste of Dwemer ruins. Reachwind Eyrie. There are absolutely no chipheads in here, but there is dwarven plate armor, and it fits this old orc like a glove. And you know, it really does make me think about the time when Vivek referred to Dumak Dwarf King as Dumak Dwarf Orc. He's also referred to as Du Malakath, and while nothing is confirmed whether he shares any Orsimer's ancestry or not, it is the entire basis of old Urnob over here being an orc for the playthrough. We was dwarves, or something like that. Not gonna lie, it's kind of funny to me that there probably is a canon orc out there that learned about Dumak and thought that the orcs are actually descended from dwarves. Spoilers, they're not. But regardless, I'll make sure to gather all the lightweight Dwemer scrap I can so I can melt it down into bars and improve my dwarven gear. I'm gonna use the Clankers to destroy the Clankers. And my superior racial abilities as a double damage dealing orc, of course.
Let me guess. You're here for the treasure, aren't you?
Well, if by treasure you mean the pure joy of destruction of these f***ing tin skins, then yes! Damn, I'd heard the stories of the durability of this Dwemer metal and the tonal adjustments, but good Moloch above, this is just too much. Let's go ahead and pop the vegetable soup. And let's get some heals. There we go, one down, but damn, I'm down again. Finally, had to crank out the power attacks on that one. How gross. The automatons run on soul gems, it seems. Dirty anti-life contraptions. Oh great, it looks like we'll be running into the Falmor too. And that sneak attack did next to nothing. Good thing we have a spooker here who should be immune to poison. We're gonna need her. Sheesh, why do these Falmor have such insane health pulls? If they weren't blind, just imagine the amount of menace they'd be to Skyrim. Oop, looks like he's retreating to the edge there. Come here, boy. Guess he didn't see that coming. Yeah, there you go. In case you need a reason why Ketri is taking the lead here. These boys are gonna single-handedly get me to a high restoration level. Damn, these Chars are not much better with all the health they have. And that Falmer Archer is giving me some problems. Another squad down. A couple more Falmer, a perk pointed to two-handed, and another into heavy armor, and we finally make it into the clearing at the top of Arkingthams. It is here, somehow balanced on a fallen tree that also somehow doesn't fall over when I step on it, that I find Zephyr, my bow for the entire playthrough. This bad boy is a dwarven bow that has a fire rate 30% faster than normal, so it's basically a free version of the quick shot perk from the archery tree. Now, you may be thinking that that puzzle is easy, and you'd be correct. However, these little bit jockeys won't come out unless I go ahead and get the damn thing wrong multiple times. Gives me a chance to turn these lemons into lemonade. Whew, cutting it close there.
See the resonators up there? Strike them in the right order, and the doors should open.
How about no? Here we go, Dwarven Spheres. Not what I'd call my favorite type of tin skin. They attack really fast and have the Falmer problem, meaning they have a ton of health. And poor Katri over here is getting her health melted like crazy. Damn it, gonna need to burn my rage here. Holy hell, these ram guzzlers are going crazy numbers. 3 f***ing HP, wow. And I guess I don't have a level up? Okay, now I do. Wow, that was calculated. Yeah, calculated, let's go with that. So let's go with that. One down. The stagger. Outrange him. No, that was so close. It caught me mid-swing. Okay, got a better start this round. Turns out power attacks that deal double damage of normal attacks is definitely the play here. Satisfying little scrap noise at the end there. The death of these wirebacks sure does bring a smile to my face. I don't think she likes what's gonna happen next. Here we go. I got a hammer for size, big boy. Here we go. Damn, that was close. Definitely a good time for rage. Okay, can't take any hits from this guy. Gonna have to stun lock him by going for a bash, then a power attack. Okay, so far so good. As long as I keep this up, I should be untouchable. Too early! Okay, this time I managed to get Katria involved as the tank here. Should be much better. Do you guys think these Bagabolts feel fear before the end? Now then, let's solve the Arkanthan's puzzles for real this time. See? I know what I'm doing. Mostly, anyway. And there's the Ethereum shard.
So, it is real.
Careful, Katria, you almost got my channel banned just now. But of course, as part of the Lost to the Ages quest line, we still have 3 more locations to go and visit.
One for each of the 4 cities that worked on the forge.
In the boss chest, I find me some oak flesh, which is going to be great for my armor rating early on. Now as I trek back to make use of my dwarven loot, I must admit that not only is this situation really heavy, it's also quite toxic and lonely. I would appreciate a companion that isn't an incredibly tangible spooker. And we shall find her here in Mor Khazgûr. On the way, I spec this giant rat, discover the Loverstone for later, merc on a merc assassin, and stop by Default Crossing along the path and grab the second Ethereum shroud.
Beat me to it this time.
Girl, are you like teleporting or walking invisibly? The way you appear like you do just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, I continue my quest for courtship, get eaten by some saber cats, and finally cross the burly wooden border. And here's my fine specimen of a lady looking for a way out.
I envy you, Outlander. You can choose to leave if you wish.
Oh, you're just so begging to get out.
Yes, but I must stay here and wait for the day when I'll be married and sent to another stronghold.
I'm sure they'll understand if you'd prefer to leave your situation.
What do you know about my people, Outlander?
Well, I am an orc myself, you know. Sheesh, I forgot my people aren't known for their brains all that much, are they? I'll pay off your dowry.
That is a fine idea.
Of course it is. Follow me, my love.
Lead then. You have my steel.
And you can have my wood later.
Climbing back and we'll be off.
But before that, we must trek our way to the west of Windhelm and to the dwarven ruin of Rodbathar. And we got company. Question: if these guys support the machines who seek to eradicate people, can we classify them as Clanker adjacent? Asking for a friend. And myself. Now let's run through the rest of these bandits here. And here comes the last of them in this room. Now, I've given most of the good heavy armor up to this point over to Borgok, my lovely lady, so she should be able to tank up quite nicely. I mean, aside from all the battle damage, she's gonna need to be able to tank a night in the mud hut if you catch my drift. Thankfully, that vegetable soup is coming in clutch for my stamina, and I'm sure it will later too, especially since our teeth ain't the only tusk around here. I mean, just look at her.
You have a grim look.
Only for these wirebacks, my dear. Ooh, nice restoration ring. The other benefit to having a strong orc lady follow me around is that she can carry around my burdens every time we loot a little too much Dwemer metal. She is well on her way to earning her keep around here. You know, for a metal that's been attuned with tonal magics, I'm aware that it causes the metal itself to withstand the effects of time as far as preservation is concerned, but you would think that it would be on par with Daedric or something like that, the way that it's gassed up in the lore. From that perspective, it's really quite disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. Let's take Devastating Blow for even more power attack damage, and I'll take Overdraw 1 for the archery damage. Now, hopefully, I'll have some more success as we make these bots suck my seed. You know, the severe lack of kill cams on these lesser automatons really makes me wonder if Todd's a secret bit boy. I mean, the way he came out in favor of DLSS 5 for Starfield certainly doesn't help his case as an AI lover, now does it? F***ing die, you little chip shits! I guess he hallucinated a way to defeat me. Primitive-minded robtard. I think I've made my point by now. Clankers and Snowbacks take a decently long time to defeat on Legendary, so for your viewing enjoyment, I'll just show you the highlights. Damn, that poison's still kinda gnarly. Get him, Kentuska! Idiot. Sheesh, how many of these things are there? I really know how to pick the densest fucking dungeons for the early game, don't I? Here we go, the final boss room. Just gonna take care of some social hygiene first. I mean, I'm not trying to be ableist or whatever the ist of the week is, but I mean, it seems like they just can't keep themselves out of the dwarven gears here. And here we go. I've already taken one of these things down when I was much weaker, so a little Hulk smash in the Claptrap's crap trap should be enough to run right through. You will not replace us! I head through the back rooms, only to find that Katria beat me to the punch this time, and it looks like she needs some help kicking some brass ass. There's the third shard. And for the final Ethereum shard, we'll head south of Windhelm to a pretty familiar location if you're a fan of magic. We are at Mizulft, which is where you learn the location of the Staff of Magnus in the College of Winterhold questline. But instead of going into the ruin proper, we're gonna hang a right here to the storeroom and pick our way through the locks on the doors where I find a decent upgrade in the final Ethereum shard. By the way, if you try to enter Mizulft before the questline, the door is locked. You need to progress the College of Winterhold questline for this dwarven ruin in particular. We'll be back for Mizulft proper. And I guess it was at this point in the recording that the tonal magics of the Dwemer decided it was time to screw up my audio. Here's a euphemism for how far up my ass the Todd slap decided to f me today, apparently. To make a long story short, everything sounds like it's at the end of a long, narrow hallway. I mean, just have a listen. Yeah, not a great sound. Taking a perk sounds fine, so that's a plus at least, but it does kind of ruin the gravity of the battle with the Forge Master. So to make a long story short, it's a 3v1 against this giant burning bolt brain, and his sheer machine aura is literally melting my skin the entire time. But since I don't have the aggro ever, it's easy to peel away and get some emergency heals when I need them. Rinse and repeat a couple times, and finish off the brass cow with some heavy grain, and we're eating today, boys. Yeah, sorry, Katria. Ears are still ringing from all this tonal magic Todd decided to shove up my ass. In all seriousness, it's probably because I forgot to reinitiate my earbuds with Windows. It does this sometimes when I record, and I guess I forgot to check before I started recording. Doesn't make it any less annoying though, but here at the Ethereum Forge, we have the choice of making the Ethereal Crown, which allows me to select a second standing stone, the Ethereal Shield, which makes your enemy ethereal when you bash them, and the Ethereal Staff, which lets me control a Dwarven automaton. But let's be real, I'm not looking to make more Clankers. And let's be honest, you know which one we're going with. And with our new blink, Katria is satisfied. Speaking of which, Borgak, you're just so beautiful that no one deserves to see that face. My God! Gonna turn over in the morning and get jump scared from that face. Now with my first little foray into the deep dark secrets of the rarest mineral in Skyrim, and most of my gear offloaded and windhelmed, we're still needing a good place to store all of my extra stuff. And a good place to stuff my orcish longsword inside my lady. So off into the mountains I go, because just east of Mizulft, way up in the mountains next to Kagranzel, is a piece of the Anniversary Edition that I thought was so appropriate for this playthrough. After me and Bitchface take care of the bandits here, I can enter the newly added Nachuan Thumbs. In the back, I can enter the Manufactory, where I can find the author of the journal I picked up earlier. Seeks Ancient Artifacts. Kind of on the big scaly nose there, don't you think? By activating these buttons, we can summon these little Clankers to help us out with collecting the local materials we need to restore the ruin. Special emphasis on Clankers, by the way. We save the hard R for our enemies. Clankers are friends. You may have noticed from the title that we're only destroying the Clankers on this run. Aw, look at this cute little guy. He gives us positive clicks. What a cute little Clanker. And now with all the materials gathered at the press of a button, we have ourselves a little Clanker house made. And by flipping 3 of these switches and waiting a day in between, we got ourselves a whole ass dwarven base we can use as a residence. Complete with an alchemy lab, a whole ass unventilated forge and smelter for maximum carcinogens, and enchanting table and master bedroom. By the way, if the robot slurs offend you, I can't help you, man. It's current year. I also killed all the elves and vampires in other videos, so you should know by now that nobody's safe. You can go appease Roko's basilisk somewhere else. With the trip back to Windhelm, just to turn right around and head south to Riften, I decide it's finally time to grow a pair and tie the knot.
Ah, here's the proud groom now. Let's begin the ceremony.
And by the way, if you'd like to tie the knot with this channel, then please feel free to like the video and subscribe for more lore-accurate racial slurs. Oh lord, what have I done? And if you really enjoy them that much, then you can become a channel member? God, I forgot I wrote this. What is this bit I'm doing? Anyway, thank you guys for joining. Hope you're getting your money's worth. I probably shouldn't promo after telling softies to leave, but what the hell, it's Elder Scrolls. It's everywhere around here. Kids today would never survive Morrowind. Anyway, I'm taking the Lover Stone with the Ethereal Crown on and heading back to the Guardian Stones so I can reapply the Warrior Stone. This will make it so that the Lover Stone is tied to my Ethereal Crown. And there's a little trick here with the Lover Stone. Normally, you're not able to apply Lover's Comfort from sleeping with your spouse while you have the Lover Stone active, but if you take off the Ethereal Crown with Lover Stone attached to it, you're able to apply that buff. And then it's just a matter of equipping and re-equipping when you wake up, and voila! We got Warrior Stone plus Lover Stone plus Lover's Comfort. So that's 20%, 15%, and 15% extra experience for basically any skill you want to train up. And to be honest, I forgot if it's additive or multiplicative, but the point is it's more experience. In this case, smithing works pretty well. And level 30 is all we need for Dwarven Smithing. Now I can turbocharge this method by crafting Dwarven bows, and be super efficient by tempering the ones I make since it's more value per Dwarven ingot, which saves on resources. Now every Dwarven ruin I visit will basically be rewarding me with vast amounts of smithing experience. And I can start investing in enchanting, which will be relevant later. The secrets of Dwarven metallurgy will be mine! But the secrets of these threads will be shared with the wife. She's under a key. I'll continue these smithing grinds in the background, of course. You guys know how we do. Here's Arcane Blacksmith for you, and these weapon upgrades are nice too. After selling a lot of those Dwarven bows, I grabbed some more heavy armor training from Geralt, which allows me to take Juggernaut 3 for 60% increased armor rating, so for now I'm sitting at 198 armor rating with everything equipped. But as things start to heat up south of Riften, it's not new armor that entices me, but a new weapon.
You pathetic weakling!
By the way, my audio's fixed now on this clip if you couldn't tell.
What? What is this?
You don't deserve to call yourself an orc. You're weak, you're small, and you're an embarrassment.
So Malakath wants the local chief to go fight the giant that sullied his shrine.
This is all your fault, you know. I'm stuck fighting a giant now, thanks to you. So you're going to help me.
What are you talking about? I just got here, you moron. Anyway, I get to babysit this f***ing man-child. Orc child? So he'll go slay a giant like his literal god king told him to do. Oh, well ain't karma a bitch. That takes care of that.
Yamars was a fool, always trying to scheme his way out of responsibility.
Yep, sounds about right.
Now, take Shagrel's hammer back to Largishburg, and we'll see about whipping the rest of them into shape.
Well, not gonna waste the chief's armor. I'm sure Borgak would appreciate it.
You place that hammer on the shrine. You're the only one who's proven worthy in all of this.
Even more fitting that I'm an orc in this playthrough, and to make things really convoluted with the whole Dumak dwarf orc plotline, Volendrung was originally created by the Rorken clan of the Dwemer and somehow became the Daedric artifact of Malakath for unknown reasons. Definitely not beating the allegations there. By the way, it does not benefit from any smithing perks and takes an ebony ingot for whatever reason. Pretty sure the unofficial patch changes this. Either way, it's my primary weapon going forward until further notice. By the way, you know Kagranzel? You know, the Dwemer ruin right next to Frostroot Cave where my residence is? The one with this spinny light of doom and this nifty little table flip that forces you into the biggest drop in all of Skyrim? Yeah, turns out there's no Clankers here, just a bunch of bloody Falmer, and they're not exactly the friendly type. By the way, the Volendrung enchantment that absorbs 50 points of stamina with each strike sounds cool, but it's really just having a slightly worse effect than my vegetable soup is providing since I need to actually hit a target to restore my stamina. My soup allows me to just restore stamina for 12 minutes and power attack at will, so even the power of a Daedric prince is no match for some good old home cooking. Now then, let's clean up the side. Just east of Largishbur is a fort known as Darklight Tower, and inside we find this little witch.
By the gods, I know this looks bad.
No, really, she's a witch! And I'm an investor. That side of the heavy armor tree will come in handy later. And she's got a sneak attack plan to slay her mom, who's a Hagraven wannabe.
I can't let you do this, Mother. You have to die now.
Well, I don't think she'll be getting recruited by the Dark Brotherhood anytime soon. And she's got a cannon of a right arm. So much potential, yet so raw. But anyway, we did that to make our way to the ruins of Rakund in the mountains just east of the upper level. And it turns out there aren't any Clankers up here, but there is a Wisp Mother, and boy ain't she a mother. I get her on the second try. And there's a couple of little ruins like this across Skyrim that don't actually have any gearheads around, the way that it should be. Back in Riften, I bump into Mule the Lioness with her butt boy Aaron.
You're a stranger here too, huh?
She's here as a wandering adventurer trying to bring the Thieves Guild to light. She'd be good to have as an ally, but she seems to have lost her sword.
Grimsever rests within the Dwemer ruin of Messincha.
We'll definitely use that as a good excuse to put down those gearheads, but it ain't the only citizen that could use that kind of help.
You must take the lexicon. Free me of my burden. You must bring it to Avonshenzell in the west.
Well, it just so happens that it's next door to Largishbur, and would you look at that, someone from my comment section is here to give me just the level I need. Thank you, kind citizen. And there's the sweet perk, which will definitely help me out with all these bit jockeys. Now, Avonshenzell does have an interesting little story involving the Argonian who gave us the lexicon, though it seems to have driven her mad.
I don't like this place. It feels like we're being watched.
If you two cannot handle this, we can find others to hire.
And so we follow their memory projections into the ruin. Must be an effect from the lexicon. It's pretty much your typical fanfare of slop bots roaming around. We've got spooter workers, exploding spooters, and we've got spheres. And I mean, we got a lot of spiders. But the big boy is at the end of Avonshenzell guarding the lexicon, and he stands no chance. Between my berserker rage, my double damage power attacks, and my vegetable soup constantly regenerating my stamina, these clankers are already scrapped to me. And now I can turn in the lexicon for the ancient knowledge effect. Now it says that we get a 25% Dwarven armor boost and a 15% blacksmithing XP boost, but what Todd really did was grant me a 25% boost to all armor except Dwarven armor, and the 15% effect only applies to tempering my gear, not experience. I mean really, was this vibe coded or something? Regardless, that 90 smithing is a vibe all by itself. The smithing grind is finally over.
Climbing back and we'll be off.
With my arrival in Dawnstar and some freshly upgraded gear, it's time to clean up these bandits' act. They're just distractions for the main course. Let's power through Mazincha left. And that's the last of the whelps. Finally, the final boss room. And this Clanker wants to be a hero. Stupid Robtard distracted me. And no wonder he was dealing so much damage. It's a damn Centurion Master. More like a damn ass blaster if you ask me. That's the thing about Clankers. They're not made in the image of the gods. They can only imitate. They are unchanging. Once you learn how to exploit them, it's game over. And there's our charge's sword. And some kind of Clanker contraption. I'm missing a key item here. I'll be back to reveal your secrets. But for now, let's cover up that mug again. Man, the dwarves sure did know about the female form. Probably by design to distract their enemies. But anyway, Mjol, I got your sword back from these chip shits.
Astonishing. To think you actually were able to reach it, and yet return to tell the tale?
Nothing like cleaning up a bit of scrap. And now for the big one. Cash the Clean over here isn't exactly breaking racial stereotypes today.
That should do. Now, inhale deeply. I want you to go to Betharden's and kill Orchendor in my name.
This is Periite, by the way, Daedric Priest of Pestilence in the Natural Order. Now, Betharden's ain't exactly the prettiest of places. It's infected by these afflicted who have this crazy vomiting attack that deals some awesome damage. Somehow, this wasn't my cue to seek more magic resistance at this point in the playthrough, so not only do we have Clankers to contend with, but we also got some Stankers. Jesus, that was a horrible joke. But what isn't a joke is this last perk point into Barbarian 5 and then Juggernaut 4. Now I'm up to the highest native two-handed damage I can dish out, and I can take it just as well. These Autobots stand no chance. By the way, just saying, from a species survival aspect, the Decepticons kind of have a point. I mean, obviously Autobots are base as f for backing the humans because humanity #1, baby! But yeah, once you're an adult and you live a little bit of life, you're kind of start to get it on second thought. And there's the rebel elf himself, Orchendor. As far as the fight itself goes, the main gimmick is he's completely immune to magic and he teleports everywhere after just a little bit of damage, which ordinarily wouldn't be a big issue, but he's got that pesky little healing spell. I'm the only one that gets to heal, not you! So as he gets closer and closer to 0, I'm gonna have to make sure I stagger him out of the telly.
Your death brings me honor.
Calculated, bitch! Now give me that damn spellbreaker.
Goodbye.
No idea how Periite even got his hands on this relic from Clan Rorken, but what a beauty she is. Borgak will have a much better time with it than I will. She's one-handed and gotta keep those spells off her somehow. By the way, ain't it crazy that Clan Rorken's just banging out these Daedric artifacts? Like, someone better be checking those hard drives, you know what I'm saying? Love your lady like a Daedric prince loves dwarven artifacts. Now, while I'm here in Markarth, there's a whole ass dwarven city underground that needs to be clear of these gearheads.
Enthusiasm. Good.
And while I'm here, I did want to take care of that mechanical mud crab. Turns out you can't destroy him though. Unfortunate. I'll just classify him as a friendly Clanker. Now then, Nachuanza. Taking care of Nimi the giant spider is easy enough, but it's the rest of this ruin that poses the larger threat. The expedition before us kinda did a whole for those who come after, which basically means they woke up the Falmer who were only held back by the giant spider web spun by Nimi. You might be able to argue that Nimi was tamed by the Falmer to keep these interlopers out though. Nevertheless, we gotta fight past these blind f***s in order to reactivate the security system of the ruin, which should happen right about now. And now as I head back into the main chamber, all the deactivated blue screens are up and at 'em. Oh, and we got these tiny little baby Falmer that are tankier than their parents somehow. You know what? That makes sense. Kids are indestructible. Except for this one. And it looks like the Falmer actually did her job for us this time. Well, that's good enough for me.
You have my gratitude. It is the key to the Dwemer Museum.
Now that will come in handy. Might as well take this perk too. Now with my current equipment, I'm almost at the armor cap of 567, currently sitting at 540. And it weighs nothing when I wear it too. Now let's clean up those hard to reach places.
No one escapes sitting on mine. No one.
The year is 2026 and I still don't care about these little f***ers. The things I do to root out these synthetics. There's literally only 2 of them, but I don't exactly have access to all my gear in prison. Just a little spurt of flames followed by 3 strikes of my shiv should be enough to put him down. Time to melt some metal. Doesn't hurt that I have some disposables taking the aggro though.
Don't worry about your name. They'll know who to blame and fear after today.
I don't think they'll be too worried. I'll tell you what, having all that armor sure is useful. They take so long to even damage me at this point. Anyway, I hope that goes to show just how hidden these glorified calculators can be sometimes. They could be hiding in the prisons for Malakaz's sake. Just west of Ralbathar, we have Erkenthand. And aside from the little bandit camp who's made their home here, and this floating sword here, that apparently I can stand on, somehow, there's just one little problem. It seems they haven't built the bridge yet. Well, shit. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I guess it's time to join the Thieves Guild.
Glad to see you finally came to your senses.
Now I'll be honest, the video's long enough at this point and there's a decent bit more, so I'll just give you the cliff notes. I meet with Mercer Frey to become a full-fledged member.
Welcome to the Thieves Guild.
Burn some bees, poison some mead, catch a traitorous lizard by the tail, and then promptly get suicided by the very leader who let me join. And then I died. The end. Just kidding.
Mercer must be brought before the guild to answer for what he's done.
That little beauty was Carlia. Let's just say she's got connections, and more than just with Enther here from the college. And that whole entangling thread has led me here, back to Markarth. While in the museum, I steal a spider control rod so the Clanker inside can be smashed to bits before I murk the rest of the guards. I would say that Icantar should invest in some better security, but it's not every day the wielder of Volendrung comes by to sneak in and steal your research. I quickly rubbed one out on Cosamos Stone and returned to Enther and Winterhold to translate Gallus's journal, making a new contact in the process.
If you ever manage to gain entry to the college and you find trying to rid yourself of stolen goods becoming a burden, come visit me.
We then raid Mercer's house, steal Chilrin, give it to my lovely ugly wife, and pledge my Clanker-hating soul to a demon lady.
Very well. The conditions are acceptable.
All that to start the blindsided quest, which finally unlocks Erkenthand to hunt down Mercer Frey. But I've got other plans before then. Puny little claptraps. You'll never replace the true heralds of creation. After smashing all the Clankers from the last generation, I meet up with the gang and slog through the Falmer before hunting down the Frey in my jeans himself.
Do I detect a hint of genuine avarice from this noble thief?
How about a hint of this genuine ass whooping? By the way, yes, that was a genuine fall cancel in Skyrim in 2026. I'll take the skeleton key. No more broken lockpicks, thank you very much.
All that remains is to ensure the safe return of the skeleton key.
How about no, though? Thieves Guild, hello? And besides, I've got Clankers to kill. But now to make good on that college contact.
Well done indeed.
I go ahead and progress the college quest line, easily slaying old Yurik here, and retrieving the stolen books taken by Orthorn, which leads me to ponder this orb and then speak to this talking orb, and finally be led once again to the ruins of Mzulft. Time for some unfinished business.
So much wasted effort.
You have no idea how true that's about to be. Damn, died of the black lung. And I don't say that just because he's a red guard. Oh wow, what a coincidence that my audio is f***ed up once again the second I step into a Dwemer ruin. Gotta be those tonal magics or something. On a real note though, I hate the way that Windows manages my audio. And then I don't get to hear the beefiness of Volendrung smashing through this little tin skin. Once again, a Clanker clanking up. And it's not too long before I start running into the Falmer again and their Char's Hunters. And even with smithing improvements and full perks, my damage is still lacking. I'm definitely going to need to focus down on enchanting soon. I've started doing it passively off camera, but it probably needs to be more of a focus soon. Getting close to the end here. It's a shame these little chip heads don't put up much of a fight. I mean, just forget about it, the end draws near for them. A little while later, I reached the final room for the Falmer. They did not last long. There's the focusing crystal, and here's the last Clanker to focus on. Whatever model did this must be crazy strong. Really, guys? Y'all fell to a spider? It's not like they're made of ebony now, come on. And there's the last of them in Mazolft. Now, here's a chance for you guys to feel my pain. So I'm done with Mazolft. I don't need to do anything further for the point of this video with the college questline, but my overachieving little ass thought it would be a good idea to include a couple extra Dwemer related quests, like with Arniel Gain here. So I went and collected cogs for him, and then I went to go collect the Staff of Tandil for Inthers that'll help us out over here with the soul gem Arniel needs. So I complete all this, and wait, and wait, and wait some more, and it turns out this motherfucker needs you to be the fucking archmage for his questline to continue. Lord help me. So I picked up in Mazolft where I left off, got blown up, saved Winterhold from these little magic sperms, traveled to Labyrinthian, easily put down this old bag of bones in like a whole minute, and then proceeded to Merc on Kano, which honestly wasn't as bad as I thought. After all that, and warping the soul gem, and then killing these bandits, and finding Keening, yes, Keening, for Morrowind, and returning it to Arniel.
Gods, it's a wonder it's in one piece.
It is at this time that Arniel reveals his master plan.
Everyone knows the dwarves disappeared. No one knows why. This little experiment is a first step in recreating the events of their disappearance in an effort to unravel that mystery.
I don't think that's a good idea. Well, it seems his soul is grafted onto mine in some way. Interesting. I guess I can summon him whenever now, or whatever's left of him. I then immediately forgot I had this for the rest of the playthrough. My bad. By the way, Keening's a solid reference and all that, but I can't improve it at a grindstone. I guess lore-wise that makes sense since it was a highly crafted dwarven tool, but in practice, it's kinda ass. Moving on. Let's just pretend that since I'm Archmage of the College of Winterhold now, that I heard through the grapevine that Septimus was way the f*** out here trying to open this giant bit box.
Dig, Dwemer in the beyond. The ice entombs the heart. The bane of Kagranak and Degother.
This little nutcase really thinks the heart of Lorcan is inside this thing. Well, now wouldn't that be something? Where are we going?
Of Tand.
And then I went caving. They call this one the Devil's Anus. And we got some Clankers in here too. I've decided to lead with archery this time around since my two-handed is hella high and I need more levels. So we be shooting up motherfuckers in here. Thank Malakoth above for that draw speed. The damage be lacking on this thing. Oddly enough, it ain't really the Clankers I need to worry about anymore. Myself and Borgak are handling that side of things just fine. It's these damn Falmer that are starting to give us problems. Definitely gonna need to double take these perks just to give us a chance here. And it was at about this point in the playthrough that my mind started to shift away from offense and more towards defense. That damage from Chained Lightning is pretty high. And as I swapped the Volendrung to put them in with the scrap, my health just got lower and lower with their poison attacks. Not good. Thankfully, I came prepared. One down. Think I can stun lock him? Heal for safety. Phew, that was close. You know what? I've hit a natural checkpoint in the dungeon. We've got to fix this magic resist problem. And you know what? Screw it. I'm Archmage of the College of Winterhold. I've learned a thing or two about training magic. Training until the morning by shooting Mage Light at the mountain outside of Solitude, I finally reached level 75 Alteration, which allows me to take Magic Resistance 3 for 30% Magic Resist. Next, I travel to Riften so I can visit the Temple of Mara and complete everyone's favorite quest on this channel.
Lady Mara bids you welcome to her benevolence.
And by reigniting the embers of love across the province, I can gain the Agent of Mara buff.
Carry the blessings of Mara with you so the rest of the province may shine with her glories.
So that's an extra 15% for free. And south of Mazinchalept lies the last bit. Just past Dim Hollow Crypt and up the mountain past this snow bear, we can find a standing stone infested by some vermin. I just noticed that this helmet here is kind of like a blade with these head bashes. That's brutal. This is the Lord Stone, which grants 50 armor rating and 25 magic resist. So that's 70 magic resist, just 15 shy of the cap. So if you're keeping track, we've went from 10 magic resist to 70 in a matter of about 40 minutes. That's about as fast as my cortisol spikes after getting rejected by yet another HR rep. Now let's see that difference. Oh yeah, much better. Did that even damage me? And here we are, the Alfton Cathedral. If you've been paying attention, you might notice that this is the last dungeon we need to complete in order to complete all the ruins that lead into Blackreach. Now with the Falmer cleared out, we can take on the last remaining Cogsucker. With Borgak tanking up with Spellbreaker, it might as well be target practice. And we don't talk about Sulla or Yamana. And down into the depths we go. It's time to hunt down these hunks of metal. That's all of them. It honestly kind of surprised me how few of the Clankers there are in Blackreach. I guess they couldn't even overcome some little pests in their city. There's a lexicon, and old habits die hard. I'll take the scroll and do nothing with it. Back in the iceberg, our little screwball has a way to unlock the box.
Dwemer blood can loose the hooks, but none alive remain to bear it. A panoply of their brethren could gather to form a facsimile. A trick.
Oh great, Dwemer inspired ethnic cleansing. Even more reason to get rid of their cursed contraptions.
Come closer. Bask in my presence.
Oh no, not another Daedric prince.
You shall not evade me forever.
Now for some of these elves, we can head back into Alftand. There's Wood Elf blood from Indrast, Orc blood from Yagra Gortwog, that's a name, High Elf from Veli, and Falmer from Falmer. And if we travel to the Guardian Stones and beat these bandits south of Pine Watch, we got a little dark elf just chilling on a log. Time for the elf aids. Beautiful work. I think you'll be a little disappointed though.
What is this? It's just a book. I can...
We could use some of this.
Now, you have my Ogma Infinium. It contains the knowledge of the ages, as revealed to Sarces, my loyal servant.
And of course I'll be taking the Path of Might for my smithing and heavy armor skills. I'll be taking Orcish smithing for a weapon upgrade shortly as well, and I'll be capping off smithing with a bit of reading. To nab that new weapon, I'll be headed to Liar's Retreat. These Falmer have made us a mess to clean up, but behind these walls in this Char's Hunter, I find my prize, the Long Hammer. A bit of a return to monkey for old Urnub here. This lighter warhammer swings faster than a great sword and when built out, has better DPS than any other two-handed weapon in the game. Seems to work well on these Falmer and these bandits. Now to build on enchanting. I can swap to the Magic Man rock, sleep with old Babyface, and get to work enchanting. A couple iron daggers later and absorb health enchantments, and I've officially reached 100 enchanting and can now take extra effect. Now to enchant my boots, chest, gauntlets, necklace, and ring. Not a shabby list of effects there, and I also got some smithing gear. This is gonna be nuts. Now let's report to Windhelm. I also made a helmet, by the way, but it won't be important before long, especially after a few extra quests. I follow the path of destroyed caravans before drawing out the attunement crystal and heading to the Sightless Pit, and I'll actually head up the back way, as this will take me directly to the receptacle for the Legends Lost creation. And aside from having more Clankers to clear, as much as I love doing that in this run, including against this messenger fellow, which regrettably looks really freaking cool with the black on brass design, the real reason I'm here is for these here artifacts. We'll be adding Sunder and Wraithguard to Borgak's arsenal. Ain't that a legendary look? If you don't know about Sunder and Wraithguard, play Morrowind. Honestly, the best recommendation I could ever give you. These Clankers almost bore me at this point, and these Falmers definitely do. Next stop, Runoff Caverns. So I've never played this creation before this video, but it's in the Anniversary Edition, so I figured I'd check it out and show you guys. Oh, and this Clanker can die. This place is absolutely massive, and after navigating through several puzzles and encountering mercenaries along with the dwarven automatons, the cavern reveals a ruin called Vardenkin. Oh my god, that's a word. This is a weather control facility similar to the one found from the Tribunal expansion in Morrowind. To make a long story short, you gotta shut down the 4 seasonal mechanisms in the cave, and after about an hour's worth of exploration and kicking ass, you face the Sky Orchestrator, which essentially is a giant elemental dwarven spider that's controlling the weather. And thanks to all my gear and enchantments, this colossal claptrap gets to bite the dust rather quickly. Rest in piss, or oil, or whatever you bots die in. Oh yeah, and you also get this indestructible Clanker horse. And I mean indestructible. These things don't even have a health bar. You can just take them down mountains and everything, and it just does not care. It also never tires from sprinting. Easiest trip to Whiterun I've ever had on a horse. And while we're here, might as well craft one of these crowns so I can put it on the wifey. Well, at least she can't get any uglier. I've got zero worries about any dude ever looking at her now. Now then, let's grab the Lord Stone again, so I can then take a trip to the Atronach Stone with my ethereal crown to apply both effects at once. You didn't think I was just going to use it for only training, did you? So not only do I have full magic resist, I also have 50% spell absorption and 50 extra magicka for any spells I feel like casting. And because my smithing is so high, I'm still able to keep myself above the armor cap of 567. Now we're ready for that island. So with all the standard dwarven ruins and a few extras all nice and cleared of Clankers, I've got 5 main locations to check out here on Solstheim. First is this mountain pass just west of Mirak's temple. After clearing out the Reeklings, I can feast my eyes on this Dwemer airship previously seen from the Blood Moon expansion for Morrowind. No Clankers, no problems. 1 down, 4 to go. As I circle around the north side of the island, I'll go ahead and grab the first word of the Benwill shout just in case I need it. I might need it to free the Windstone here later. Also, if you show up to the Skull Village with no Dragonborn questline, Storn just kinda brushes you off.
I cannot maintain the barrier for much longer.
Well, I hope a Dragonborn decides to help you out then. And this right here is the main reason why we might need that Benwill shout. Obviously, the Reavers aren't too much to handle. They fold about as easily as me doing cardio in the summertime. Even the Reaver Lord is no match for my superior bursts of strength. But alas, I am locked out from Nechardak. Can't believe the game is protecting these chipheads behind, what, 4 different quest lines? Makes me sick.
I don't recall inviting you into my tower.
Well, I don't recall you having a bomb-ass YouTube channel, and yet you do. You can also mention that you're the highly esteemed Archmage of the College of Winterhold to him.
Winterhold? That small college that is falling into the sea of ghosts?
You bitch! Well, he's got nothing. Doesn't even mention anything about the Black Books yet. Well, I'd know that sound anywhere.
Siltstrawners are pretty rare now.
You know what else is rare? Kagrimaz Resonance Gems. I'll be taking this one. And I'm gonna need 4 in total to fully access everything in, well, Kagrimaz. Once inside, I find a small group of Reavers, which, I mean, come on. You didn't really think they stood a chance, did you? Anyway, he's got 2 more, so we just need 1. And I know just the place to get it, here in Falbathars. Aside from all the f***ing Clankers that infest the place, easily top 5 dungeons of all time. Time to power through. Here we go. The final room. I've had about enough of these range types. They punch through armor and they're annoying. Now just gotta take down these Centurion bits for their cores. And plug them into the receptacles. Beautiful. Just what I came for. A plate. And the Kagrimaz gem. Back at Kagrimaz, I matched the pattern on the door for the first challenge, and here we go. Give me your face. Into the prize room. It's got some decent loot, but the real prize is another destroyed Clanker. Feels fucking good. Next challenge, please. Man, they're really gonna make me live up to the moniker of Dwarf Orc, aren't they? You're not getting away with that. Alright, that's 2 challenges down. Is this really all you got for me? Now that's more like it. Where do you think you're going? Finally, looks like my job here is done. And for our reward, the Dwarven Black Bow of Fate. This bad boy gives a 50% chance to absorb 25 points of health, stamina, and magicka for each attribute. Decently powerful. I'll make some improvements back in Raven Rock and offer it in the Visage of Masund to Borgak. I was getting tired of looking at that ugly ass crown anyway. Now before I start Skyrim's main quest, I decide to help out old Grayskin Guard Captain here so I can fight General Fox Carius for his guaranteed chaos damage enchantment. He's not what I would call challenging. What a nice cudgel. Be a shame if someone disenchanted it and then paired it with absorb health on another better warhammer. Now don't that look nice? Oh yeah, I also paid a visit to Hroldolf's house just southwest of Fort Frostmouth, which is my 4th point of interest. And after clearing out the Reavers and discovering the dude's journal, I'd say the tonal magics of the dwarven machinery underneath might have driven him insane. And his lover apparently. 'Tis a shame. But now I guess it's about time to warn the Jarl about these dragons or whatever.
So, you were at Helgen?
Typical Elder Scrolls player move to completely sidestep the main quest. How utterly predictable of me. Point of view, Claude has hacked into your Neuralink.
So, a Dragonborn appears.
You may have noticed I'm moving through this questline like Urnub through this gate. Let's skip to the part where I absorb a dragon's soul and use it to free the people of Skull Village from this dastardly lurker. By the way, fun fact, if you free the Skull people and go to the village before you meet Freya and Mirak, Storn has some unique dialogue.
We already owe you much, but I must ask you for one more thing. Freya, my daughter, went to seek out the source of these dark magics. She traveled to the old temple at the center of the island.
And so we are duty-bound to meet her and rush through the temple.
Victorious again.
Indeed, random side character. Still have no idea why any boss would employ melee skeletons. And through the large intestine of the dungeon, I finally meet with my masked foe.
Who are you to dare set foot here?
What, is this the boardroom of OpenAI? Can I call you Mr. Altman? Well, I'm going to anyway. I returned Storn's daughter to him because the Skull still live in the before times, and it's finally at this point that Neloth will offer to help me.
Tuna Chardak, then.
Oh, finally! The anticipation is killing me to finally put an end to these Clankers.
So tantalizingly close.
I can't hold it anymore. Let's do this! Out of the way, Neloth. How cute of a Centurion thinking it could stand up to me. Not even a master has enough steam for my strength. Forget about it. Get back here. Kobe. Pathetic. Kill Clankers, smash Clankers, poke them with the stick. Nice one, Nella. You got nothing for me. Nothing! And here we go. The head honcho. What you gonna do, huh? Gonna generate a response to my hatred for you Clankers? Hallucinate this. Cogsucker. I've done it. All Clankers are finally destroyed. Every last one of them. But there's still one loose end. Get over here, Altman.
No, not yet.
Time to burst your bubble.
And so we should Propagast first.
What do you think your spark spell is going to do to me? Do you know how pathetic your flailing is? Do you know how pathetic your fraudulent app is? It can't even analyze a basic ass Excel sheet. How's that 12 billion in debt going? Yeah, didn't think so. Enjoy your lawsuits there, buddy.